and I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger.
I think when you're looking for a human connection,
The beaches also are so beautiful there.
it's like with air crashes, right?
So the question is about Thailand. How is it?
In the US, when
Guess who's back for Topcast?
Top, göringläre top, memaları top, hemen nerse top, Topcast.
So, hello guys, I'm very happy to see you. This is Topcast. We have some guests all the way from Czech Republic, Mr. Jan and Mr. Radek. And we have two guests from Urgent, from our city. No, I'm just kidding, they're not guests, they are our hosts.
You're so excited. You sound excited about us.
Unfortunately.
Two more folks.
No.
Have them with us.
No.
They paid for water.
Okay. So guys, the first episode we filmed it in Uzbek, but this one is gonna be in English because we have some guests from Czech Republic. So guys, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna let you hello.
So hello yourself.
To hello yourself. No, to the millions of fans.
Salam alaikum, all brothers and sisters.
All our families watching this.
families, dogs, cats, grandchildren.
That's a good joke, you know. So Mr. Radek, you can look at the camera.
Salam alaikum.
That is your camera. You can take it after this, right?
And you know, guys, there is a popular song now. Salam alaikum, druzya. Have you heard about that? No. Oh,
I haven't either.
oh no, because on Instagram it's going viral. So I thought you just watched. Okay, guys. First of all, I want to say welcome to Uzbekistan. We're so happy to see you.
Thank you, we're happy to
And
be here.
yeah. Oh, Rahman. Okay, so guys, can you please tell to them about yourself, what you do? You know, like we know that you do travel blogs, right? And it's better you say with your words, I think.
It's your job, yeah. Yeah, as Begov said, my name is Jan, I hope you said it. And together with Radek, we run a YouTube channel. It's called Světový, which we have our logo over here. And in English, it means worldwide. And we make travel documentaries from different cities from east of us. That's our series called This Time in the East, and we make travel documentaries from countries from Eastern Europe, Near East, Central Asia. Now we also make a YouTube podcast. It's called also Světový, when we talk to the people who spend some time living abroad and they have some interesting experience. They come to the podcast and share it with us and our viewers.
Yeah, it's great. And I think you should also mention how many countries have you been to?
Well, me personally, I was in 37 countries, counting Uzbekistan.
Oh, okay. So in total 37 countries.
Yes.
That's amazing. Now, Mr.
Yeah,
Radek.
we counted today. It's 49,
Oh,
including Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan.
So, yeah.
so next 50th country.
I'm probably not gonna say
Oh.
because I don't know what's gonna happen until then. But yeah,
Oh,
we got
okay.
some plans for later
Right.
this year. But it's gonna be between Czech Republic and Uzbekistan.
Okay.
I got a question. So you have your own travel blog, as you have said, and it's very interesting for me. Why have you decided to do this? And then how you decided to do this? And also, how do you financially support yourself if you always travel?
Should we say the full story or because there is actually a long story. I don't know if you want to begin.
Like the long version?
We can.
I don't think I even remember that one.
Yeah, we can do. So at the start there was this idea, just an idea to visit Iran one day. 4 years. It was 4 years ago. Just an idea, maybe like even more than 4 years ago. There was idea to visit Iran. After that, we decided that we are gonna go for a road trip, for a 3 months road trip with old Soviet Lada.
Oh,
So we-
Soviet Lada.
Yeah.
Lada.
So we bought a Soviet Lada and we planned the trip, and then the pandemic came, so all plans were cancelled. And after the things got a little more flexible and we could travel again, we decided we're not gonna do it with the Lada, but we're gonna travel like through the countries one time each, and we're gonna make a documentary from the countries we previously wanted to visit, and of course some other countries.
Like more detailed one, because we didn't like the idea anymore, like going 3 months and then we'd do like 10 countries or something like that. So we just wanted to focus on the
One
specific
country.
one. And about we travel a lot. It's not that much actually if you like count it. Like for Uzbekistan we have like 10 days. And
I think
we haven't slept like 2 days in a row now.
Yeah.
We're not gonna. We're gonna sleep tomorrow, so that's good. And yeah, so it's like a little rushy, but we're getting better in like planning those trips, so we're more effective now.
Definitely.
And,
I mean, like from the whole year, it's like I think 3 weeks maybe in total we spent traveling. Maybe for the 2 trips that we make in 1 year. So yeah, but before we go to the country, perhaps before we came to Uzbekistan, we made like really detailed planning and research about the places, so we don't have to do it here. So we know where we want to go, where we're gonna be there, what we're gonna say, what we're gonna film, because we have this responsibility that we're making the documentary here, and after we leave, we have to make sure that we captured everything we wanted.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
What are you mostly interested in when you're visiting a country? You say it's
Definitely
documentary, so it's about people or geography.
people and ordinary life, I guess. Like we're not really about.
So you're not going to fancy places or some like sightseeing that most people do.
No, the thing is there are
Nothing mainstream.
There are
Nothing
thousands.
mainstream,
There are thousands of these travelers that go to somewhere and put out the article or video. 15 places you should visit in Samarkand or Urgench. It's gonna be the top things you're gonna find everywhere. But maybe when you come to Uzbekistan, only few people will go to Moynak and visit Aral Sea and will discover the history of this place.
And to get to know
really
the people
interesting.
better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the thing. Also, like when you go to France, I'm not the kind of guy that like wants to go to Eiffel Tower
And spend the whole day over there wandering
I just want to go
around.
to the last village with the name I can pronounce and just sit there with someone who's living there.
That's
So,
very
yeah.
interesting, actually. Okay. All right. So, in total, how many documentaries have you filmed yet?
We're now. This is gonna be a 5th one,
This is gonna be 5th one.
plus one from Czechoslovakia during the pandemics.
So like a
like
Sixth one, right?
6 in total.
Okay. All right, that's great. So it's your second day, I think, in Uzbekistan. So can you please share your about your experience?
Impressions, like
Impressions.
Well, it's gonna be short impressions so far.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of used to when I travel east that things are a little bit more chaotic than in my home. But when we were in Samarkand, I discovered that everything is kind of chaotic, but at the same kind of organized. That perhaps, for example, we met a guy. We were in a restaurant. And we asked a guy if he knows a place where they make a Samarkand bread, the tandir, and he was like, yeah, I know the place. Go to my car and we go now. So he just picked us. He left his restaurant. He left everything. He just took us and we went.
So it's organized chaos.
Organized chaos. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. But at the same time, Samarkand, like nice historical city. But after that, we spent like 10 hours in a car driving to Urgench. In a night, we couldn't see anything, but I think there was like desert most of the time, and then we arrived here. Yeah, and we're here with Begov, who's our host.
Hiva. What about Hiva? You have been to Hiva.
Yeah, I was surprised with that about that it's so large, the whole complex. That was nice, and a lot of people though, so it doesn't really support my statement before. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, we were looking for Hiva especially. So
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to take a picture like with us because we were foreigners. Yeah, so it was nice.
Okay, when did you hear about Uzbekistan for the first time?
For the first time, I
Yeah.
think like I don't know the exact time when it came to my
No,
mind.
Maybe through what? Maybe
Yeah.
You once
What?
said that Mahmoud Muradov was the guy that you know that.
Yeah.
He began his career in Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Yes. And he's a like big fan of promoter of Uzbek culture in
Yeah.
our country. But I know that I was interested in Central Asia since I was studying college. When I studied, it was a part-time geography, and I became interested back
That's
then.
great. So even at that time, so you know about Uzbekistan, right?
Yes.
So now this question is: do most Czech people know about Uzbekistan? What do you think?
Maybe they know, but they don't know anything about it.
Oh,
I really like
Maybe
this.
they just know the name, right? But
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not sure what
somewhere
what
on
kind
the
of
map,
country.
but, like I'm not sure if they know like not
Okay.
even
But
Yes.
as we were discussing today earlier, when they hear the Stan,
Yeah.
it's immediately like tells Afghanistan, which is more discussed in a media. So it
So they
puts some stamp on it.
So they have some associations
Yeah,
in their
sure.
mind, right?
Sure.
Okay, that's clear. When I was living in China, Chinese people used to call all Central Asian countries like Tantan countries.
What does it mean?
Like because too many stans in Central Asia, you know,
Oh,
they don't know like their exact name. They
Yeah.
just call those that Central Asian countries like Tantan countries. So yeah,
Funny. I was doing some research today and visited your account on Instagram, and I saw that before coming to Uzbekistan, you went to Ukraine. Yes, and I like the way you put it. So now everyone knows about Ukraine because of the war, but what is kinda behind the scenes and how the life is there? Am I right?
Ukraine.
Did I
Yep.
get it right?
Yeah.
Yes. So you went to Ukraine after the outbreak of the war.
Before.
Before that.
Just a few months before, actually. 3 months before we were there.
November,
Yes.
October, something.
Yeah, October and November. End of October and beginning of November.
And what I liked about it, you spent most of your time not in the central part of the country, but on the outskirts. Yes, in villages.
Villages, yeah.
Why?
That's where the life happens, I guess. We just, we had this paper map, if you saw the video, and we would just pick a random village about, we liked the name or it was just like good situated, and we would just go there, didn't know nothing about it, and just ask people like, what's interesting around here. They would say nothing most of the times, but yeah, we just walked around, had a coffee in the only coffee shop there. And yeah, there's a lot of going on. It's calm, and those people are not used to meeting strangers and foreigners and all that. In a city, nobody cares about
I
you.
think,
You're just
I think when you're looking for a human connection, that you have to find a human, not a crowd.
oh,
That's nice thought, right?
Yes, beautiful put. And so, didn't you have any problems in speaking, like language barrier with them?
In Ukraine, not really, because their language is pretty similar to us, and we've traveled for multiple times to Ukraine, so we kind of like picked up something from their language, so we can do just fine there. But yeah, like if you don't know like Russian or you're not from like Slavic languages, I guess on the villages you'd have some problems. Yeah.
So, we are teaching IELTS, and we have questions in speaking about the difference between urban people and rural people. So, since you have spent some time in rural areas with rural people, how do you think, what is the difference with people who are born and raised in cities and those who are raised in countryside?
In general?
Yes, in general.
Well, I think people in villages are like more straightforward, and they go just straight to the point, and they are I think more willing to talk to you and be more open. But people in cities, I think cities are like more anonymous, and people are like more careful if they're gonna spend time with you or speak with you or what you're planning when you're talking to me. Like maybe that attitude. Maybe that's what I know from even Czech Republic, like cities. When you encounter someone on the street, it's less likely that they're gonna stop with you because they think maybe you're a beggar or maybe you're gonna sell them something or something like that. But in villages, they would just tell you to go away if they didn't like you already.
So they are more sincere.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. But maybe that's also a question of a nation. Maybe in Uzbekistan, people would be like more sincere in the cities.
Yeah.
Also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Generalized.
Yeah.
All right, that's so interesting. And the another question is, what did you like most about Ukraine? Each country has its own thing.
Yeah.
I think you got it.
Yeah, you picked the worst country for this question because I love everything about Ukraine. Actually, everything.
But
Yeah, there's just something in the air that makes me like I cannot describe it. It's just there's something in the air that
You look like Ukrainians.
Oh really?
yes. Don't you find?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
But maybe something about Ukraine might be the colors because
Yes.
they have this traditional clothes. We actually never bought it in Ukraine and now we regret it. It's called vyshivanka and it's like white shirt with some ornaments that are blue and red. So when I think about Ukraine, I see in my head like a lot of times these things that kind of reminds me of the culture. But we also been there in the summer in a city of Uzhgorod, in a western part of Ukraine, and it's just like Radek said, something in the air, like the breeze that comes to you, and the relaxed atmosphere of the city just speaks for itself.
Yeah, the best city in the world.
It's really nice.
Yeah, very good.
Yes, and another thing. So you have been to Portugal, then Thailand, Iceland, Barcelona, Ireland. So these are the countries which I have seen in your profile. So the question is about Thailand. How is it?
Well, I didn't like Thailand that much. Sorry. I mean, I've been there twice. And I don't know. I've been to Vietnam, which is far and way better than Thailand for me. As this guy who doesn't like crowds and all that stuff.
Yes, it's clear.
So yeah, like Thailand is touristy. It's so touristy. It's just like
there are too many tourists
spoiled.
every corner. Like
Right.
Yeah, and they're just drunk. They don't know what they're doing or something.
Yeah. And it comes with the people are trying to scam you and all that.
Yeah. All the
I
time.
didn't see that like in Vietnam, for example, in the north part. So when I came from the north down there, it's just bothered me even more, like the contrast of like this purity up north and this tourism stuff and scams and all that down there. It just bothers you. Like you don't, as much as I like to talk to people on travels, you just don't want to, be the part of this. So. But yeah, I mean,
So,
I don't want to like hate it like that, but
he has been to Thailand too.
Yeah.
And according to his words, he says that this is a kind of paradise on earth because everything is allowed and nobody cares about anything.
What I was saying that everything was available there.
Yeah.
With if we look to Thailand with Uzbek eyes, that's kind of paradise.
yeah.
Maybe if we look from Czech eyes, maybe that's different, right? So what I was amazed, like in Thailand, actually everything is okay. Like maybe drinking some alcohol or just going out with some girls. These are the mostly things that we can't do here. So that's why I like Thailand a lot. Actually, the beaches also are so beautiful there. The beautiful sunset. Normally we don't see here, as long as we don't have beaches. So that's what I love there.
Sure.
The beaches.
The question is if you spend like multiple months or so, if you would appreciate the same things, you'd probably
Yeah.
just find some, it just settles.
I agree. So for 10 days or for for 2
everything's
weeks,
perfect for 10 days, right?
Everything is perfect. Yeah, because the main reason is just to relax there.
Yeah.
You just want to do your best, get all the enjoyment in 10 days. Yes. So 1 or 2 months living there, I think that's a different experience. Yeah.
It's called actually a cultural shock.
Oh, cultural
Yeah,
shock.
it's four phases. And first, you're amazed. Then you're starting to discover the country. Now
Yeah.
you're sad. Now you're starting to deal with it.
All right.
You have a long time in the country.
Yeah, I've got a question. What do you think? How many days should a person need to get to know the country better that you are visiting? For example, I'm visiting this country. How many days do you think it's good to know the country better? As we just talked, that just knowing the country in just 10 days or 15 days, it's a bit hard, right? So what do you think from your experience, like how many days we need just to know that country better? Maybe the people,
I think you should probably have to live in the country for maybe at least 3 months if you would like to know the country better.
Yeah.
Because we know that we're going to visit it for a limited time of day, so we focus not on the quantity but more on the quality of what we do here. We don't want to go to in Samarkand only to Registan, then to sit to one cafe and go to sleep. Yeah, that wouldn't be really knowing the place. So in our case, it's more about the quality of the time we spend there. But with knowing the place, I would say a few months.
I'd say years, maybe.
Years.
Yeah, because it takes time to find new friends.
Yeah.
To build a trust between friends, families, to open the doors for you.
Yeah.
To just look actually under what's going on there.
And also learning their language.
That
really helps
to
know
that's huge.
them better.
For sure.
Okay. All right.
Do you have anything to ask? Because I have. If you have, you can go, and then I'll go.
No, please.
Okay. So it's about Iceland. A curious fact about it, which I have read somewhere, it was written that if men go to Iceland and marry the women of that country, so the state will provide these men with, first of all, apartment, then passport, and specific amounts of money to make the living. And do you know anything about this? Have you heard that?
Sounds good. So good. I guess I don't know. But it also,
I wish I had known it earlier.
But it also sounds like it's incredibly hard to get married to the Icelandic woman, right?
Yes.
And if you do that, you get this.
It was written that the number of women in the country is much higher than the number of men, and that's why there is a law like this. So it's like 70% to 30%. The ratio.
So they want to lure men to Iceland, maybe.
So you haven't heard?
I haven't heard.
It's
Yeah, but when I was in Iceland, I spent a month there hitchhiking and all that. So I think that none of the Icelandic women would want to get to know me better. Because a month is a long time. Yeah.
Yes, and the interesting thing. So you have been to so many places, yes, but earlier today when we were talking with you, you said that it's not that expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and why do we have the associations that traveling is an extravagance, is so expensive? But when but the people who are doing this say that it's not so. What we don't know that you know.
Good question, by the way. Good endings. I'd say, first of all, before it was a thing for rich guys, right, to travel and all that. But right now, if you're going out into the pub, you're most likely going to spend much more money on a beer than you can buy a flight ticket within Europe, for example. So it's just I don't know what's the reason behind it, but it's just a matter of decision, I guess. And
I was also say that it's the idea that the travel is expensive. It's it's kind of stereotype that is not like valid these days because now with low cost travel agencies you can travel in few dollars. Then you can buy a flight ticket there and back for $10 and go some place in Europe or even like Near East. Maybe before, when you imagine like buying a airplane ticket would cost you like thousands of dollars because you have to get a luxury seat in an airplane. If you want that, you can do that, but it's not really, especially for us, necessary to travel. It's not like that. We need that extra leg room to get to Uzbekistan, right? We want to get to Uzbekistan. We don't need to have the most luxurious airplane to get here. That would be expensive.
We have
but
one backpack.
But you can make it really really cheap these days, I would say.
And I would also say that the traveling itself, it's not essential like for your life. Like you don't need to travel to, you know, be fed and have something to drink. So maybe people just wouldn't think about it. It's like it's not essential for me, so I wouldn't even check if it's actually like approachable or affordable for me.
Actually, I was in Switzerland only for 2 days, and the amount of money I spent there was almost the same as I spent in 3 weeks in Iran. Like it also depends on the place when you go, because Switzerland is like really expensive.
Yes, and so did I get you right? Like, if you travel in a planned way, the trip itself can be made cheaper because you analyze everything, you compare costs, and then you choose the ones which you can bear. However, if you just decide, I want to go there, and you go there, it's gonna be, of course, much more expensive.
Yeah, and also we're technically flexible with dates, so we just don't care like what part of the year that we want to travel. So basically, if you know I got to travel in August from the 13th to, I don't know, 20ish. It's probably you're not that flexible with the prices and all that. So.
Yes, I like the way you approach your trips and the things that you choose to record, because as I see it, so you prefer unique things, innocent places, yes? Because you think that in this case you can bring something different to the table, to your viewers, and it would be more interesting for you, and your content will stand out among others. So the same is in my case. I prefer the places which are not that popular, because like we have Paris, other such kind of places, yes? And when people travel there, it seems to me that this is the crowd instinct. Everyone goes there, and you also go there.
You want to have a picture at the famous place, so you go because others have it.
Yes,
you have to post it also get the likes.
Yes. So can we say that people who go to less known places have their own opinion, and they are not dependent on the views of others?
That's an interesting question. Actually, an interesting way to look at it. But I never thought about it like that way.
Maybe there's this desire to make that opinion. You know, that you don't have it and you want to see it like with your own eyes. And maybe you're gonna go to see that Eiffel Tower maybe at the end of the day. Because you should probably, if you want to like...
I call it that we travel like from the inspiration, because we want to like know the place because we want, not because we weren't here yet. Like we want to go here because it's interesting, not because someone was here and we want to be here also just because. So I think we approach it like in that way.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
And it doesn't exclude like one another. If we're gonna be interested someday, like in Eiffel Tower, we're just gonna go there. But
we've been to Cuba today, so it was nice.
And Cuba was like overcrowded with like Uzbek tourists.
Children.
But school children.
The whole like experience when you have the place for yourself is you cannot like.
It's different.
Yeah, it's just different. Like when you're one in a crowd, and when you're just all alone there, it's just different. Kicks differently.
Kicks differently. I like it. And the thing that kind of perplexed me, that I really loved, you are so adventurous that you decided to go from your country to Slovakia and then to Ukraine cycling.
That was a stupid idea.
Yeah,
No.
you did it.
Yeah, I did. Oh, it's a long way ago.
It shows your courage and that you are not afraid to do the things that are very hard physically.
Well, I mean, I've been cycling as a kid. I can do it now, so I don't look at it this way. I had a friend there, and he was throwing a party on Saturday, and I didn't have much to, it was holidays, right? I didn't have school or anything, so I didn't have much to do. So I was setting off on Monday, and I would cycle like, I don't know, 4 days there on a shitty bike, so that sucked. But the whole experience was actually nice.
Why cycling?
The tires on the bike were so wide, so I had to like.
It was hard to ride, right?
Yeah, it just
Especially after some miles.
I had to make an extra effort, and I would have to like pedal, even like going downhill and all that. So, but yeah, I made it. It was a fun party, and but it's not probably something that I would do again, because like right now we're trying to get in contact with people, and whenever you're using your own like vehicle or your own kind of transportation, you exclude yourself from the others, right? It's just like bike is all right, but you're limited with time and all that. When you have your own car, you don't really, you can ask for direction and all that, but you kind of like you're further from the people. So now we're trying to use like public transportation or switch between those types of travels.
So you went to Slovakia, and then you had courage to go to Ukraine, and then what's about the way back?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. You went there, you had the party, and imagine all the way back.
And I think you didn't dance at the party.
You were the one listening, right?
I actually was so fast that I was there like a day before, so I could recover and then go full speed. But I took the train back. Didn't have time to make it all back. Yeah.
What's about the bike you left it?
No, train
just
as well.
carry on.
Just yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that's interesting. So we've asked some questions about your travel, yes. So in general, what could you get from this traveling thing? What could you get? As a person, how much did you develop with the help of traveling?
Well, definitely what really happened for me during the travel that I stopped being afraid, I would say. Every time we go somewhere, everybody, not only my mom, but everybody asks, aren't you afraid? Like, do you know what can happen? I say, like, yeah, but it's gonna be right. it was alright before, it's gonna be right. Even if something happens, we're gonna manage.
It's a part of it. Actually, it proves my theory. I have my own theory about life.
Philosophy,
It's like this. The threshold is flexible. So what I mean by that, you're afraid of this thing, but once you experience, you stop being afraid, and this kind of becomes like this, and then like this. So it's flexible. When you travel, you undergo different things, and the things that you were afraid of initially become a joke for you. And
because you have like this dissonance in your head when you're looking at something that you're afraid of. You have in your head only the negative things about it. It's I think the best example is like working out. I had it with working out a lot, because when I want to work out but I'm really tired and I don't want to, I only see the bad parts of it. It's gonna be hard and everything. And after I go through that, how do you
process?
Like that process, like this resistance, I found out that my thoughts about it has nothing to do with the workout itself, because it's always the same. Only my attitude can leverage my point of view. It's same with the travel. If you go, I would bet myself on it that many people in Czech Republic would be afraid to go here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But why exactly? Ask someone why.
Yeah,
And they won't ask.
and I-
won't have an answer.
Yeah, and I wanna ask a question, like, on the media, especially on a TV or something, the media shows some countries that the life there is very difficult or something, or there is something just going on like really bad, some protest or something. So, have you been to a situation where when you realized that media was lying?
Yes, sure. Like,
So when happened it exactly? Like what was like?
I don't know if I said lying because probably some
misrepresenting.
yeah, it's like exaggerating.
I would say
or-
being selective.
yeah,
would be the
for
word.
sure. Like in last year in Iran, it was like the biggest, one of the biggest ones, because it's presented like this villain country that everybody just wants your,
It's full of
chop off
terrorists.
your head.
only,
Yeah.
Like that.
And those people are just like one of the sweetest and
Yeah.
the best people in the world. So but nobody reads articles about good people. So on one side, I get it why it's done. I don't read it much, to be honest with you, because when I open like media, like one of the most readed media site in Czech Republic, I just want to shoot myself. Like, there's like 10 titles and 8 of them are just completely
Somebody died.
frustrating. Somebody dies, somebody wants to kill you, and so I don't really read it that much. And that's with your question previously, it's connected, that you maybe just want to make your own opinion. Of course, like if they're saying like there's war somewhere, I'm not gonna be just going there the next day. So I'm gonna look and find out if it's really true. And no. But on those things, like when they generalize like the country by governments and all that,
It's not fair to the people of the country.
Once I watched that was a talk. Once I watched a video about a Croatian guy. He traveled around like more than maybe 15 countries, and he said that he traveled for free. He didn't spend any money. He was just hitchhiking. He was just visiting a city and working there, earning some money. And with that money, he just travels around any other cities. And he just said that in his video that actually media lies about some countries. Like, I've been to some countries on the media. There was like different information. There was like, this country, the people are so rude, blah, 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 blah. But when I visit that country, actually the people are so nice. So from this information, we can understand that not always, the information on the media is not always reliable, right?
Well, I mean, it's like with air crashes, right?
Yeah.
You know about every air crash that happens, but you don't know nothing about every airplane that lands. And there are much more airplane that lands that they crashes, but it's like with bad stuff that happens in countries. You know about that stuff, and you make a picture in your head about that country based on that article, but it's really selective.
And also, if you guy was walking or traveling, somehow.
He was just walking, sometimes
Yeah.
hitchhiking. He was just
You also like when you do this, you also like meet kind of the certain like type of people, right?
Yes.
Like you can meet someone, I don't know, bad or that, but you kind of like how do you call it?
I got it.
You just
I got it.
It's a unique experience, I mean, because some people come across wrong people, some people come across right people.
Yeah.
And because of that, our impression of the country develops.
Yeah, but even the traveler itself, when he's in a country and he uses some kind of, when you, I don't know, low cost traveling, you kind of, there's a certain kind of people that actually talk to you. Even when you use couch surfing, everyone on couch surfing is probably good because you get some references and all that. Yeah. So there's certain kind of people, and you meet. So you.
I would say more people, less narrow-minded people who are, for example, on couchsurfing.
Yeah.
There are people who are like more open, want to know more, and
Yeah.
don't want to live just in their truths. Want to discover more, and maybe they are willing to change their opinion about stuff. So, yes, I think people who meet you along the way.
Yeah, the way you travel like reflects the kind of people that you meet. So
Yes,
something
it's
something
very
like that.
smart of you to point at that because it's true. It's right because
Here we are.
no, I mean, as you said, if you travel in that way, like hitchhiking and other things, so you meet the people who are willing to help. And when you are traveling, maybe in a different way, you meet the different layer of people, and they are not that willing to help. And because of that, it seems so. And I wouldn't say, yes, maybe media is lying, but maybe they are not lying. And on the contrary, we are ignorant, so we don't see some things which they mean. We just pay attention to things we want to pay attention to.
Or maybe there is less good information compared to the bad
But
information.
it's all about demand, you know. There's a demand for
Yeah.
bad
Yeah,
news.
there is no excitement in good news,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Who cares that the plane landed?
Exactly. Oh, okay. People got out. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Because in an article once I read about that there was a firm, they were trying to balance the information because they were just trying to balance the good and bad information. Yeah, I think that's also important. So what I mean is, so when we read something about a country or something, we shouldn't always take it as an example or like we shouldn't conclude.
We shouldn't accept it as a fact.
Yes.
We should accept it as an opinion, one of many. And then we should go and see and
Yeah,
form
but
our
like
opinion.
most of the countries, you have someone who's actually been there and is kind of independent, like I don't know, travelers, I don't know, relatives or whatever. So yeah, you probably won't go to North Korea tomorrow to see the truth. But yeah, we can all agree it's probably not that easy. But yeah, you probably know someone who's been to Czech, right?
Yeah.
You know maybe some Czech guys and all that. So yeah, that's maybe just find some independent sources. It's harder.
Yeah.
It's much more difficult to find it, and that's why not many people does that.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, almost every time I was in Hungary,
Oh.
I had some problem in Hungary, and because of that I have like I don't really want to go to Hungary anymore because I had this like sometimes bad experiences, but doesn't mean it's like a bad country, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
only
yeah.
my experience, and I'm not silly enough to like base my opinion for real for Hungary. Only when I think about it, oh, that happened, but it doesn't say anything about the people and the country.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so now let's talk about Czech Republic.
All right, let's go.
So I think it's interesting for us and for the people watching because you know Czech Republic much better than us. So no. What I mean is like we have a lot. So in Czech, no.
Like everyone. There's off the TV now.
Unsubscribe.
It's okay. I hope you didn't understand what was our joke about. So now we are more aware of education. As long as we've been teaching, so we also want to know about the education in Czech Republic. So what do you think? Like in Czech Republic, the education system is good enough? You know.
I'd say I haven't been to school for a while, but I'd say it's not up to date.
Oh.
Like that, it doesn't really change with the years that you live in, or the things that are taught. But like in general, I've graduated, and my last year I graduated in US.
Oh.
And if I had to compare like high school in US and in Czech Republic, like ours is much better in terms of what you learn.
Oh.
And yeah,
Ours.
Czechs. Then the US ones. There is more like your individual if you try enough, you're gonna learn. But here you just got it on a plate in Czech Republic. I mean, and I'd say in general it's good, but I think it's not up to date yet. Yeah, as I said.
And there are 11 years at school.
Pardon me?
11 years at school.
We are nine
plus
years for elementary school, 9 years.
9 years elementary,
And after that,
the high school.
High school for 4 years when you graduate, but you don't have to graduate. We call it a maturity, and that's what you get in a high school. But you can go for like 3 years only and not get to graduate maturity if you like, I don't know.
That's
Like
before
if you
bachelor's.
want to be like cook
Yes.
or mechanic.
Yeah,
or-
some work that doesn't require maturity. Yeah, cook
Yeah.
or worker. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but after that you can go to college after the maturity. That's required to go to the college.
Okay, so what about the how can we say, like, the demand or the interest that people do they want to learn foreign languages, like for example English? As you know that in Uzbekistan many people they want to learn, maybe not want to, but they have to learn English. How is the situation in Czech Republic, like about learning languages?
Well, about English, I think everybody learns and wants to learn English. Especially, I would say nowadays when small kids are like on social media all the time and they hear English content all the time, so they're trying to understand it very early and they like want to learn it more and more through the school and through this content to like know it better. But for other languages, I think
Yeah, we have to pick like a second language, even on elementary school at like last years of the elementary school. So if you're doing good, you should be getting out of school with like 2 languages. Like one should be perfect, and the second one should be like, I don't know, a few years behind.
But is there this gap between different generations? For instance, in Uzbekistan, the elderly, they mostly speak Russian, if we're talking about second language. How is the situation in Czech Republic? And with English, is it mostly the youth who like process this language, or also the...
well, older people also speak Russian more because Russian not Soviet times, but the communist times. They were like learning Russian in school, but our generation were on English for a long time. So I think there is a gap, but some other people know some basics, of course, from English, because like their children, grandchildren speak English all the time, and sometimes they catch a word or two like this.
And I guess it will be also interesting for our viewers to know your own experience in learning this language, like how do you learn?
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, I used to learn English on YouTube, or learn. I was there was this band that I liked growing up, Simple Plan, and I used to just listen to their songs with lyrics because
Which group?
Simple Plan, Canadian group. Yeah, and there was these lyrics videos just came up on YouTube, so I was just like translating it, and that's where I like caught up to most of the language, I guess. Because so definitely old school YouTube. Yeah,
I think it's also important when you're learning English to learn some slang, of course, like not only the formal language, but and that you learn from songs, and when you're watching movies or TV series, especially in English with English subtitles, it's good for learning to catch some slang and informal words. It really helps you to like go straight to the conversation, have a better conversation overall.
So you mean
that's one of the first culture shocks that you experience when you go to the English-speaking country, because then you realize that no one speaks English in the way that you're taught.
Like learn to say,
you try to be nice and everything.
"Dang brother, what's up?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "What is going on?"
Excuse me, no.
my 6 years old teacher didn't talk to me like that.
There was a joke about this. There is a Russian comedian, and once he told about his experience in London. So he learned English and all that stuff, and he thought that his English was very good. So once he went to a pub in London, and a problem happened. So one of the people there started swearing at him very angrily, and he wanted to swear back, but he didn't know anything. He found out that he didn't know any of the words that he could use to swear back.
Yeah. Well,
I guess it doesn't happen anymore, right?
As you said, like it's the first words that you learn.
first words you know are the swear words.
For me the same.
And somehow they're just good for, they stick with your memory for some reason.
Yeah,
They're just good words.
Yeah, exactly.
It clicks in. Right?
Yeah, like when you hear them, what's going on?
Yeah. At least you know that someone is swearing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So you mean it's very important to learn the natural English, right?
Totally.
Yes.
And know some things about English, like when someone like asks you like what's up, that you're not gonna tell them your whole like day story. It's just a phrase.
Yeah,
It's good to learn not to
exactly.
to learn like the meaning of these phrases.
No. It's like, what's up? Like, I am fine, thank you. What about you?
Yes.
I just went to grocery store and I bought two onions.
But it happened to me like it was in the US when like a cashier asked me, "Hey, how's your day?" And I started describing.
Try to connect with the person.
I was just describing $12.99. He didn't care at all.
You were like, in the morning I got up at 7.
Well, I'm just here in New York. It's like really beautiful city. Okay, next. Just didn't care at all.
Yeah, like the conversation is definitely the most important. I don't really care about like tenses and all that.
Oh,
I shouldn't say it probably. Like just when you doesn't matter the way you say it, when you just say it.
In
everybody
other
just
words,
makes
you
sense
shouldn't
of
be
it.
afraid of making mistakes.
Yes.
That's also
Yeah,
what
for
we
sure.
try
Yeah,
to
of
teach.
course.
For sure,
our
yeah.
students.
As long as the person that is hearing you understands, that's enough, yes?
That's right.
Also, when you want to travel, it's like more important to learn, like, to know the vocabulary, right? If you're gonna know you're not gonna know, as you said, the words that you can't order anything or you can get anything, right? So about the tenses, like you can learn them if you're comfortable with your like basic English, you can get better. But like to know basics when you want to go somewhere to get what you need.
Plus, I think that you agree, like when you conversate, is that even a word? Converse. Like a lot, like the tenses kind of like comes in naturally,
Yes,
right?
naturally.
You don't even know why you're using it,
Yeah.
but you got it because Eddie back
That's
of
the
the
moment
head,
when
you
you start
got
to
it.
sink in that language. And
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
moment when
yeah.
you feel that language.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
So you talked about your own experience. You learned through YouTube videos. It's about yours.
Yeah, as I said, it was I had to when I was in high school. I was in more like technical high school, and everybody graduated from math. And me and maybe 3 friends, we decided to graduate from English. So we had extra classes in school for English, and we had a really good teacher, and she encouraged us to like go and watch some movies in English with those subtitles, like go listen to English songs and really listen to those words. So I started doing it, and that really helped me, like this encouragement to a teacher and my own interest in, as I said, in the slang and in the way that people really talk to. That really helped me. Also the travel. But to travel, to be honest, it helped me more like to learn Russian more than English, because I didn't learn Russian anywhere, only on travels. Yeah, so that was the
I think
experience.
music's actually a good one because all the words that are like in the lyrics are not pronounced the right way. Sometimes they just modify to rhyme or whatever.
Yeah.
So it makes you like think about it. Or whenever you hear a song and there's just something not like right, and you just search for it, and you see that the word I know just pronounced differently.
Yes.
Just to analyze it.
Yeah.
Content you
Makes
see.
you
Yeah. Sometimes you want to know the meaning of the song, right? That's why you just
And what would be like the biggest obstacle in Uzbek for Uzbek children to learn English? Because in our language, it's probably the tenses.
Yeah.
Because in English there are more of them. So how is it in Uzbek?
Maybe I think it's also with the grammar, I think, because in our language we usually put the verb first or the object first, but in English we just put the subject first, right? I think that's the grammar is also the case kind of a bit hard for us to learn English or to make a correct sentence. And the other way is like, in Europe, I think you guys have like tourists, yes, or the atmosphere for the children. Like, once I know that on TV channels there are some channels about in English, right?
Might be. My little sister used YouTube for this.
Oh, yeah.
But she knew like a lot of like English songs and all that when she was little. Like, I don't know, 4 years old, she could sing like English songs. So that's.
But they are also like young children. They are using like the new words that didn't exist before, like to Google something, or something, or ghost something. But they use it in Czech language. It means like if I would say it in Czech, if I would like to say I ghosted something, I would say já jsem ho vyghostoval. Vyghostoval, that's an English word, and a past tense in a Czech language. It's completely like new word. And small children, they use these. They don't even know what does it really mean, but they know how to use it in English and add a Czech ending to it. Yeah, so they use like new words.
To answer to your question, he said that the problem is in the order of words in grammar, but I would also say that the problem is in our mentality. Because our children are grown in a way in which they are always pressured not to make mistakes. So for mistakes, they are always punished. And it's seen as something very, very bad. And from childhood, I think our adults demand children to be adults, to be like adults. And that is the problem, I think, because they come to our lessons and it's so hard for them to unfold. It's hard for them to start speaking. Once they start, of course, they develop very fast. But this phase when they are about to start, it's so hard to go through because they always have these thoughts, complexes. What if I make a mistake? Everyone will laugh at me.
It'll be embarrassing, right?
Embarrassed. But I think nobody cares.
Well, the saying is that you have to be willing to be a fool if you want to become a master.
Exactly. It's another quote.
Wise.
In addition to this, I would also agree with Shakrior because what I noticed that most of them are afraid of expressing their own ideas, or even let's put it in another way, developing their ideas, I guess. Like when you ask them about something, about some kind of topics, like about environmental problems or like some social problems, like they can't really develop, or they sometimes don't even want to brainstorm some ideas because they're just afraid to express their thoughts.
I think that's like the human thing that we unconsciously like are learned, that things are in some way and we are afraid to think in a different way because it brings some amount of uncertainty. That I couldn't pronounce. And if it stays unconscious, it's gonna be still the same, right? This way of thinking.
Does it relate to the parenting that we talk like?
Yes.
They want you to be like perfect in a way, but they don't want you to come up with something new or your
yes.
opinion
And I would also say that another reason is our education system. Why? Because since our childhood, we are not asked to express our opinions.
Yes,
so
exactly.
we are asked to memorize and tell what we have learned, remembered. But no one asks for your opinion. How do you feel about that? What do you think about that? And because of that, our people can't express themselves. You know a funny story of my university life? So if we look at this, who enters university? The top part of the generation. Yes? Right. Because there is a competition to get into university. So in my group there were 20 people. So these 20 people means the 20 best people of Urgench. Let's put it in that way, because they made it through and they successfully passed the exams, and that's why they are there. And the situation at university. So our teacher comes, and this is a university life, it's not a school life anymore, and asks questions about different topics. And the majority If there are 20 people, like 17 people, they don't even try to answer. For example, even if I don't know what to say, I say something general, something logical, and I try to get out of the situation by beating around the bush.
Yep.
But these people are like,
and they are not even
That's
like
it.
they are not even like angry with the way they were learned in the school. Like they don't like raise your own opinions. Like when they come to you, like they are just okay with it, like not expressing themselves, or they want to, but they're afraid.
I think they get used to
Not expressing.
not expressing, yes, and they think like, don't touch me and I will not touch you, or
Comfortable with
Yeah,
that.
That's basically one of the things that I said that it's not up to date in Czech. I don't think
And
that it
Like
works.
critical thinking, right? Like
yes,
learning critical thinking.
yes, our people really lack that, and because of that, it's so hard for them to develop their speaking. Because of that, it's hard for them to develop their writing. Because when you speak and when you write, you have to put your thoughts into words or into the text, let's say so. And they don't know what to say, they don't know what to write, because their mind is not ready for that. It's not well developed to do that. And I think this is another problem, the system of education at school.
Yeah, but one Canadian professor said like, become articulate and learn to write and speak, and you're gonna be like unstoppable.
Was that Jordan Peterson?
Yes, I didn't know if like the audience knew him, so I was just.
So
Canadian
what is
professor.
it? What you guys do at your school that makes it different in this way?
In this way, we're just gonna let them just try to fix their problems. Actually, like try to give them the chance to speak. We listen to them. We give them a chance to speak their own opinions or their own mind. So
So it goes basically further than the language. You probably learn something more than the language itself.
It's
Like-
also about
Yeah.
outlook.
yeah.
Yeah.
English.
No, you mean what is the difference between the school teaching and you guys, right?
Yeah, like when people like this come out of high school, they're preparing for university or whatever, and they come to you guys to learn English. So what is it you do that kind of like is in opposite to what we just said here?
I use the words in order to open the cage and let them out. What I mean by this, so I kind of encourage them. I say that it's okay to make mistakes. Like every opinion has a place in this life. Like the opinion cannot be wrong. So opinion is an opinion. It's not a fact. So that's why everyone, I think, must be able to speak. And I also say that what is the difference between humans and animals? So we can think and we can express what we think. And in order to meet the standards of a human being, we have to do that. And this kind of maybe touches them and they start making their first steps.
Yeah, so like at the end of the day, they know much more than English only.
Yes,
when
of
they
course,
like
of course.
get out of
That's
the
right.
course.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Is that something you like think about when you're in work? Like you're making better Uzbek people?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
yes, the contribution. I think every teacher enjoys that.
Yeah.
Because we have the chance to put a little bit of us into many people.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And we also learned that if we want to teach English, only giving the lesson is not enough. Sometimes we need to change them because they're only with us maybe 8 or 7 hours a week, and that's not enough to learn the language. To learn the language, they have to devote themselves. Yes, and so they have to be out of their current lifestyle, because their current lifestyle maybe playing their mobile phone or just social media or something. Yes. So we just try to give them the chance, or we just try to give them the opportunity to spend their time better or efficiently. Yes.
Like not just surviving, but living, right?
In general, we don't only teach English. We just try to teach them the life as well. Yeah, that's what we want.
That's good.
Because if they know how can I explain? Like if they try to understand the life better, I think it's also gonna be easier for them to learn English.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Nicely put.
I have my own question now. So you have been to 50 countries, you said.
Almost
49.
49.
Almost
No,
50.
but I mean, like the number doesn't really like represent anything. It's just like
Yes.
number,
And
but yeah.
You said 30 plus.
37.
37, yes. So you have seen many people from different backgrounds, from different cultures. And if you compare these people with the people in your country, what makes your people unique and different from the rest?
Oh boy.
I would start with the good things first.
I got only good things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think Czechs, we have a like really great sense of humor, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's also specific with our language, because our language is very unique. Like
Yeah.
Uzbek language is very unique, so the humor is like closely tied to the language, and that was the first thing that came to mind.
And before moving to the second, can I say something about this? About humor part?
Yeah.
All my childhood, I watched Russian humor, not Uzbek one, because of Russian TV channels. And what I have noticed in Russian humor and also in English, which I'm watching these days, they are wittier, like they are more subtle. They throw the joke and they don't give you time to process it, and they keep going, and they think that you have to get it. However, the situation is different in our country. How it goes, a comedian comes out and makes a joke and then gives time to process. For example, this is the microphone, let's imagine, and I'm making a joke and I'm like, so I want him to get it, and I'm sending the signal. This was a joke. Please laugh now. And about your humor.
But if it's a good joke, you shouldn't need that, right?
But I think it's about the people. Since their childhood, they only see obvious things, not subtle ones, and because of that, their brain is not trained enough to grasp the joke immediately. And that's why comedians, knowing this, they give the time to process it. And what about your humor? Is it fast or slowly
I would say
going?
it's heavily based on irony, I would say. So
It means fast.
it means very fast, and we like Czechs because there are not a lot of us. Like we get it. We all get our sense of humor, I would say.
Yes, that's great, because I think that this is the art of speaking. I mean, making jokes. You need to have a certain level of intelligence to joke and to make a very subtle one, the witty one. So very good.
And this irony part, I would just want to add that the irony is really, this ability that you can work with irony, that I experienced that when I was like reading this Brave Soldier Year Shrek. Must read that.
That's
right?
a classic. That's a
Yeah,
classic.
that's a
Because
classic.
actually Schweik was like the master. He was like the genius at work of making himself a fool and convincing others that he really is the fool. But it was all of his like big plan, like to mess with everybody. Yeah. That's a classic.
And like what I really liked that because he also like shows all these horrible sides of war, like through the humor, you know, that you can still survive, but you can still experience all these horrors.
Yes.
Like it gives you still hope, just like hope that like someday these all horrors will stop.
Yeah, totally. Because sometimes you have nothing left but humor, right?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's free.
Yeah, and to your question, original one, I'd say that the Czechs have like the guards up, like a lot. We're like not that easy to talk to or like to get to.
Close to.
Yeah, to get too close to,
I get it.
right? So you need a time to get to people, but then you can like you know for sure that you're friends and all that. In other countries, sometimes it's like, oh, hey, I like
exactly.
like to see you and all that, but you know, it's just like this thin cover, and underneath there's nothing. So
Yeah.
I think it's for foreigners. I think it's just harder to get close to us than the other.
Yeah,
but it's
I-
genuine.
I would agree. Yeah.
Third.
What
was
was
it?
Can you repeat the
What
question?
was the question? Yeah, exactly.
So what is unique about Czech people? Because I'm asking this
Yeah,
because
we're experts for everything, for sure. Like whatever is going on, we know the best. You know the best thing that we should do, and every other any other people just don't know nothing about it.
Here comes
But-
irony.
Yeah, the Czech pub is like this magical place that
Everything happens.
all of the greatest brains of our country get, and they solve all of our problems at the table of this size.
From like football through pandemics, politics,
with every
and all
beer,
that.
the ideas are better and better.
It's not only about Europe.
Yeah, I think it's in most
it's
of the countries. Like everybody knows better.
Yeah, but I would say also Czechs are like great complainers.
Oh yeah, we're the best complainers, that's for sure. Yeah.
Everything's horrible.
Everything sucks
Everything sucks.
all the time.
Yeah. But it's like you complain and
Do nothing about it.
do nothing about it. You don't even expect to anyone to react. It's just like you saying something.
And the worst thing that I really hate is like when someone is good at anything, like you're good at, I don't know, gardening.
Yeah.
And you say, I'm a good gardener, and everybody says like, hey, you're not modest anymore. You can say you're a good gardener. But fuck, I can't. Like, look at this tree. Like, I planted a tree and it fucking grew, right? I'm a good gardener. And we don't have this ability, like, this courage to like say out loud that we're good at something.
There's like envy in that, I would say.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like, I think one thing we're not like brave enough to actually say that. Maybe we just expect more. I don't know. And the other thing is the reaction of the other people, because
Like
we
the
expect them to.
Inability to appreciate someone's good work.
And that's what you get back. Like you say you're a good gardener, and you say, oh, like a tree, just he's one way there, one way there.
It's also good in our YouTube videos to read some of our comments that always there is someone who's like takes their time to just point out something bad that happens. Oh my god, you have too much music in your videos. Someone just writes its comments and ends. I'm always thinking like, you took time like to write that comment, like you had nothing better to do.
I get this. It's an opinion. I get this, but I don't get like when there's someone in a podcast, for example, who's got a good story and all that, has some kind of like a speaking disability or just speaks different way or whatever, and they would say, yeah, good story, but the way he
Go
or
to
she
the
talks,
logic.
that's I was like, well, everybody hears that. You don't have to, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
You shouldn't have to like write it down. So, yeah.
Yeah, actually, we also have those kind of people. I think so. That kind of people we have. Yeah.
That's what unites us.
Yeah. Yeah. We also just watch some videos, and there are some good comments, bad comments. Yeah. I think it's everywhere.
The worst thing I think about is really that we're unable to actually like say that we're good at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing is, when you're good and you say it and your like results support it, it should be all right. You shouldn't like get anything back. If you say you're good and you suck in objective way, that sucks for you. But like a lot of people that actually like know something and are not afraid to talk about it you get like a storm after that.
Well, we could ask that also about Uzbeks, because we're gonna travel around Uzbekistan. What would be like the good thing to ask Uzbek people to get more close to them?
Is it courage?
And why is it courage?
Should I just throw them on the floor?
You know what is like a high Uzbek value that we can like appreciate at someone, like to get close to Uzbek person?
It's a very interesting question.
Yes.
I would say, my answer would be banal, but I would say hospitality, and it's sometimes it's a really kind of extreme level, because like people do
we
their
saw that.
best. That's what I mean. And it's because sometimes people just do their best to please you. You know?
Yeah.
Like even if they have to sacrifice something of their own, because like the role of the guest is like really huge in Uzbek culture.
Yeah.
And it's like a genuine things that Uzbeks do, like they wanna like serve the guest.
You know what's interesting? When we have a guest at home, we give the best to that person, and we ourselves eat
Inferior
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Everything of top quality is to them, and everything of bottom quality is for us.
Discrimination.
Exactly.
And there's like a tradition thing
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a religion thing. Or
No, it's mentality, I think.
No, you know, in our religion also there is, I think, a quote or something. I don't know. It says like you must welcome the guest. If he visits your house 3 times, you must like welcome. You must. It says, and the next 4th time you ask, "Why did you come?" So it's also in our religion.
Why did you come?
No.
True.
No, I've just heard
Yeah,
that
this
if
is
somebody
just-
visits your house, you shouldn't say anything. You just like it's your guest.
And you host that person.
His words remind me of something. You know, when we see people whom we know, we generally say like, drop by, like come to us. We invite them to our home, but actually we invite.
yeah,
Yes.
that's Iranian way to do things. They tell you they will pay for lunch, and you like denied. We denied Begov, but he didn't accept. But in Iran, we denied maybe twice, and they were like, "Okay, good," and left.
Yeah, it's so tricky. Like we heard that there were like people like from Germany and Iran, and they didn't know about Taruf. It's called Taruf there, right? So everybody would be just like Tarufing, like, "Hey, let me just pay for it." Be like, yeah, thank you. And then they would just spend zero money. Maybe there was a traveler that she talked about it in the first place. but yeah, it's tricky for us as a travelers to send. I guess the locals just would sense it in a way, but we just don't know. We're like,
We don't know the
maybe he means it, maybe
culture
he
of
doesn't.
the
Yes.
foreign culture, so we can make some faux pas, you know.
What's funny? Once we called our neighbors, so we called, and in the evening, closer to night, someone is knocking on the door. We are opening the door, and they're there, and we are like, "What the hell?" We didn't say that, but we understood why they came, and they like, "So you invite us, and here we are." And we have anything at all.
So what would happen? Like, why do you even use it? Like the phrase, like,
I don't know.
is it like,
It's just small talk.
Yeah, you know.
is it dangerous?
Fires back. But yeah. But yeah, the thing is, when we're about to say goodbye, we usually say, "Come on, just visit our house," like to end the talk.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, see,
See ya. It's like, oh, okay, visit our house if you have some time. It's like to end the talk,
we'll
Yeah.
drink some
but
tea.
nobody comes.
Nobody goes.
Only Uzbek. But so that's why we don't say these words to tourists. I'm joking.
Why was it tourist?
No. I'm just joking.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
joking.
And you know, since then I have a trauma.
No, it's phobia. It's only a phobia.
And my conversations end in this way.
In the middle.
Yes. They end in this way. So we say goodbye to each other, and then that person says, "So come to my home and we'll drink something." I'm like, okay.
If you say
I'm
okay,
saying you too.
yeah. If you say okay, that's like okay. Inside, you know, if I'm just like, okay, come visit my house, that's not what I mean. Actually, it's like goodbye. But if you really come, inside of me, like I was like, oh my god, fuck, like why are you coming? You know, actually, inside of us, we don't want.
No, I want.
No, it's just joking. No. That's also, I think, hypocritical. Yes. Hypocritical. Yeah, I think like inside, like we don't really want, but outside.
But on the other hand, the guest could feel like it would be impolite to refuse, so he would go, and maybe he wouldn't go either. So that would be in one house, 2 people who don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But they are happy with us.
That's actually Uzbek weddings are.
Oh yeah. That's why it's 500 people there.
Actually, I think most of us don't want to invite many other people, but we don't.
It's expected,
Yeah.
right?
At the same time, we don't want to make them sad. Like just like
Peer pressure.
yeah.
And they don't want to come either.
Yeah, they don't want to come either. Either they don't want to come. They just feel pressure like, oh my god, I have to go. If I don't go, it's like I'm disrespecting that person, and that person might think about me like, oh, like some bad thing or something.
Yeah, right.
So I must go. That person like push.
That's a circle that you can.
But he
not
thinks
think about it.
Yes, and that person also doesn't want to invite. This person also doesn't want to go, but still, it's just cycling.
Yeah. That's actually what happened to us. That's happened to us in Iran because we were at some couch surfing party at like a villa, and we waited for our bus that was even like 6 in the morning.
In 6 in the morning, there should be a bus.
And we were at this villa. There was like, I don't know, 10 more, maybe more than 10 people.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't go to sleep before we leave, right? And we were on the way at like 4.
It was like 3 in the morning. Like the girls were like
they were in pajamas already,
irritated. They wanted to go sleep, but they wouldn't go to sleep because we were still there.
Yeah, and we couldn't, and they wouldn't let us like go. We couldn't go because they, didn't like.
You're not gonna wait outside in a bus station. You have to wait with us like until the morning. And do you want to go to sleep? No, it's fine. It's fine. You wait here.
Actually, they want to sleep.
Yeah, we know.
They actually want you go now.
Yeah, we knew. And we went anyway because we didn't want to hold them because they didn't seem happy about it, but they just did it.
Yeah, it's like you can stay. Yes.
No, it's like this. So a person like wears something light, goes out, and the weather is cold, and then you ask the person, "Do you feel cold?" And they're like, "No."
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, that happened to you guys right today.
Well, it was still bearable.
And in Czech, I think it's am I sweet? Yes.
I'm sweet.
Yeah. No.
I'm not gonna melt.
I'm not gonna melt. What was it?
I'm not made of sugar.
I'm not made of sugar. I'm not made of sugar.
Germans also have that saying.
Yeah.
Germans also say.
Yeah.
I'm not made of sugar.
I'm not made of sugar. Yeah.
What you say when it's raining outside and someone said like you want some like warm
raincoat
or umbrella. No, I'm not made of sugar. And you go anyway like in the rain because you're not gonna melt outside. Just the same in Czech. Yeah.
It's not in Uzbek. It's like I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die.
And how do you say it in Uzbek?
Ölümmanku.
Ulumanku.
Yeah, ölmisen.
Okay. Maybe I'll use it.
Yeah.
So my last question. So you have a pretty interesting life from outside. I don't know how it's from inside, because I'm looking at your life as an outsider. So,
What kind of person inside you are?
Yeah, it's nobody inside.
Oh, no intervention.
the question is, what are you most proud of about yourself? To both of you, the question is.
Most proud of.
They're proud of their hats.
Totally. I think I'm most proud of that I'm willing to go through some of my fears.
I'm coming then. So your fears don't stop you, and because of that, your fear.
They used to everything I was afraid in my life for a long time. I continuously finding strength to overcome some things that were bothering me for a long time, and I didn't really realize it's that way that I could be proud of that, that I'm able of doing it. But over time, I realized that I could. So probably that. I don't have anything concrete in mind right now, so I would say that.
Yes. Actually, this is a very interesting thing, and many people overlook that. They kind of take it for granted, or they don't give much attention to this. What I mean, most people have fears and they die with fears. So without accomplishing anything that they would have accomplished if they hadn't had those fears. But you, as a person, can overcome them and do something that you really want. And that's amazing because you are living your life to the fullest because of that character.
He's limitless. I was waiting for that word.
By the way, our center
Now in
is
my mind
called...
only Tom also.
Yeah.
That's why he was just
Top limitless.
top limitless. Yes.
Topless? You did a commercial.
Topless. Become one of us.
And then you need to get your t-shirt off.
Also just weird. Topless.
So yeah, that I would say also that I'm proud. Not gonna use the proud,
Come on,
but
say it.
grateful and or like happy that we pursue some like creative stuff because I think we're both creative people, and when creative people like don't create, they just like slowly dying. So it takes also some courage and to do some creative things. So I'm grateful that we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. That like being creative or like doing actually something like I'm proud of, because it would be so much easier to pick something that you don't have to like worry about. You just come home from work and you just like do nothing and just like kind of like live through or like survive through the life. So yeah, actually like creating something, and it's even it reflects in traveling. Like I don't really like being in one backpack with another guy for like 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, but it'd be so much easier to book a hotel and just jacuzzi, right, and just spa and all that. But yeah, everybody does that, and what's at the end, right? So yeah, I'm proud of like creating something, and because I know it's not easy way is doing nothing. But I gotta add that it doesn't really like reflect to every aspect of my life yet. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's a process I would say. Like extending your comfort zone. I would say that's like big word. So I would say like that, because it would be like Radek said, it would be comfortable, not like doing anything that requires to you like stretch your
Extra step.
abilities, right?
Yeah, I don't know about. For me, it's not comfort zone. It's just that extra step that you have to take to actually do
Out
something.
of your comfort zone, right?
You don't have to be afraid of it. You're just lazy, and I know I'm so lazy person, and I hate it. And I like in some parts I'm not satisfied with it. Like I'm lazy about some parts. So that's maybe the way to go.
Everyone is lazy.
Yeah, but
About
at the
what?
same time, why? Like, 'cause it feels better for this like limited time of part of time. But then you like, oh, maybe I should have done that. Yeah,
And the worst,
Yeah.
And worst like thing is when you know what you can like do and you're not doing anything for it. That's the bug in your head is gonna stay there, right? It's gonna eat you from inside, I think.
Yes.
So where are you guys?
Yeah. What about you guys?
One sentence. What are you guys proud of?
Now I was actually going to ask you a question, but like the final question. But okay, that what I'm proud of. Guess what I would plagiarize you, and I would say that I'm not proud, but I'm like more grateful to have my close people around me, my friends, my relatives, and that I'm now doing the job that appeals to me. Yeah, to be short.
That's good.
You.
They're proud of themselves.
No, actually, I think we have a lot to be proud. We have a lot to be proud, but I'm really proud that I'm really I think I'm a positive person. That's what I'm proud of, because actually we have a lot that we suffer from, or we have a lot of negativities or something. Yeah, I'm really proud that I have this kind of character. Because of this character, I think I could achieve some stuff. I could get some people around me, those which are very positive.
You attract them.
Yeah. I think because of my personality, because of my positive energy, I got the people that I want in my life. That's why my life is also very positive. So I'm proud of my personality. But in other case, also, I think the hard work or something, that's what we are doing. So I think, yeah. I'm proud that for everything. I'm proud that I have everything. Yeah, I'm proud what I've done like past few years. Yeah, I'm proud. Yeah. What about you?
I would agree with him. First of all, grateful to and for everything I have in this life. But about being proud, I think mostly, and you know what, I didn't realize it before. It just occurred to me. I'm proud of my altruistic character because through these years, I have always put others' interests first above mine, and in my family, in my work, and in all the places. Before thinking about myself, I think about others. So how they would react, how would they feel about this, and maybe because of that, I have the people around me whom I have, and maybe because of that, I have the attitude from those people to me which I have, and this is, I think, the rare quality in today's life, being altruistic. So this is the thing I'm proud of.
Yeah.
And your question?
Final question. So, in my opinion, every single person is made out of the movies and the books they consume. They create us, I guess, because by reading the books or the author that we love and watching the movies that we like, I guess we develop our values, we develop our outlook. And my question would be this one: could you name a book or a movie that represents yourself, so to say?
Well, I'm thinking about a book because all the books that were important to me I read many years ago. So I'm trying to think about specific one. But don't you want to start?
No.
Thinking about the movie also. Do you know Fight Club?
Yeah,
the movie?
exactly.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But why Fight Club?
Well, I haven't seen it in a few years, I would say, but because there is one thing with why Fight Club that you don't talk about Fight Club, of course, but Fight Club is really well filmed, but the negative side of it that you gonna experience only once, right? The Fight Club, the twist in the story. So it's very well filmed. Also has some great points about how society works. So I would say this movie is great. And I have so many movies right now in my head. So always so hard to pick one, right?
Maybe our movies.
Exactly.
Yeah, but about the book.
I got a.
Well, I read.
It would be a shame if we don't mention Kafka.
It's called Proměna in Czech. The change. How is it? How is it in
it's
English?
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis. That's that I read.
I read that.
Yeah, I read that. But one book I can.
Czech Fight Club.
I haven't read the book actually. Only the movie. Can't think about a book. I like Charles Bukowski. You know Charles Bukowski.
Yeah.
I read his books, but they are not really story books. They just it's like that. I read Trainspotting. You know, it's also a movie, also a book, and it's a very interesting book. And that's I think all I can give you. Maybe after Radek answers, I will know more.
I got It probably doesn't describe me, or I would wish it described me. But the book is awesome. It's Old Man and the Sea by Hemingway.
I was reading this book.
Yeah,
What
that's
I was
like
and stuff.
it's hands down like one of the best books I've ever laid my eyes on. Because when you like being a person who just digs so hard and he just goes out on the sea like I don't know 80 times without actually like getting something back, and he still believes in it, and then he goes 81st time and then he catches something finally, but that's where the real work starts, right? It doesn't stop by getting a fish on a hook.
Yeah.
And then those are those sharks who just want to grab a piece, and then you gotta take the fish back home, which so I'm probably not or I would wanna be like that, like just, and I think in a way it's even what we did, like there's never there hasn't been much of a feedback, at the beginning. It was still like dig kind of and just go out there, and at some day those days just kind of come together, and but that's, as I said, that's where the work starts. It's not the end.
I think it's very deep because you almost catch the fish and everybody comes. And wants to grab the piece. Like,
Also, like you catch it, but you have to also like pull it up, right? It's much harder.
So now you have motivation to finish the book.
yes, I read 20 pages of the book, but I got bored and I closed the book.
Also, Of Mice and Men is a good book.
Yeah,
Also,
that's Steinbeck.
Steinbeck. And 1984 is a good book.
Oh yeah,
That I read.
George Orwell.
Orwell, that's a classic.
Yeah.
I have a full
Bookshelf library.
full bookshelf in my home, and I can think about like the really one I would put, because there are like many more.
What were Kundera's works?
I actually haven't read Kundera. I have to admit. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So it's been very interesting conversation with you guys. So we've learned something from you guys, and it's been a great experience to hear from you, because all the experience you guys had in those countries, Yeah, guys, thank you for this. Thank you for being with us in our podcast, Topcast. So thank you very much. So if you have anything to say,
Just we're proud to be here, actually.
really,
From Uzbekistan.
okay. Actually,
Thank you for everything.
Actually, we're not sure how the future is gonna be, but if we just keep working on this, on this idea, doing podcasts, you are the first. You will be remembered the first foreign guests.
Right. Yeah.
So guys, thank you very much. So here we've had our second episode, and our guests were Mr. Radek and Mr. Jan, all the way from Czech Republic, and our hosts, Mr. Behruz and Shakhyar. So if you have something to say, then we're gonna...
Yes, I have something to say. Another host does not beg off.
Beg off!
Okay, and another thing. You came to Uzbekistan for 10 days, as you mentioned, and we are very happy that you decided to spend 2 hours of this period with us. And
We're so happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great experience.
sharing everything you have accumulated so far.
Yeah.
Very good, thank you.
So
very
proud,
much.
so happy.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
So thank you guys. So what I'm gonna say is subscribe. Yesterday I said no. I've been watching those YouTube videos. Yes. I also wanted to say those words,
Yeah.
in front of the camera. It's like always like click the like button and put the ring bell.
Ring a bell.
Ring a bell.
So you're the first one who knows when they release a new video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.
You have the experience.
We don't even say that.
Yeah, we don't say that.
You don't say subscribe?
No. But if you do, you should say it in the beginning. Because the more people watching the beginning
Yes, it
than
makes
the end.
sense.
Let's imagine it's the beginning.
Yeah.
So, guys, now we're starting our second episode. So please, if you
We're not living this alone.
okay, so guys, thank you very much. Yeah. Rahmat. Хош. Ahoj, jak se máš? Já jsem do Česka, domov můj.
Země Česka.
Jedno pivo, prosím.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we forgot to talk about beer.
Oh boy.
Let's talk in a pub, right?
We will go to the pub and we're gonna talk there.
Yeah, we're gonna make the third episode in the
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Coincidence thing. So he came to my life, and now look at the coincidence. We started the podcast, and there is an opportunity to talk to you because you come.
Yeah, and if you wouldn't go to China, you wouldn't meet Billy, and we wouldn't meet him.
No. If Billy didn't bang his balls.
That's right. Yeah.
If he didn't bang his
He took a shot for the team.
Yeah, he wouldn't come back to China actually,
So more power to Chinese kids.
Exactly.